Welcome to the Daily English News program on Azərbaycan Televiziya with the major developments of the day. I'm Qabarıq. As is now, according to the protocol signed between Azerbaijan and Russia, the relevant deployment of the Russian peacekeeping contingent in Nagorno-Karabakh is being carried out. In accordance with the signed protocol, transportation of necessary goods to the peacekeeping force through Azerbaijan is an example of respect to territorial integrity and sovereignty of our country.
Activities on execution of tasks under the trilateral statement signed between Azerbaijan, Russia and Armenia are ongoing. Azerbaijan army enters liberated territories, and at the same time, in accordance with the established quota, relevant measures on deployment of Russian peacekeepers on the territory of Nagorno-Karabakh are being implemented. A part of the contingent arrived to Nagorno-Karabakh from Armenia through the Lachin corridor. Additionally, in accordance with the agreed legislative framework, Russia decided to transport goods intended for delivery to the region through Azerbaijan. Military servicemen, automobile and special machinery, including other logistic support, which arrived on November 28 by rail from Russia to our country, passed through the border and custom checks in an appropriate manner. Goods unloaded from wagons were delivered by road escorted by military police of the Defense Ministry of Azerbaijan to the destination through Bərdə-Ağdam-Xankəndi route. In accordance with the protocol signed between Azerbaijan and Russia, transportation of necessary goods to the peacekeeping forces through Azerbaijan is an example of respect to territorial integrity and sovereignty of Azerbaijan. President Putin, as before, stated this after the signing of the trilateral statement. It's also a clear testimony of Russia's commitment to international law and the strategic partnership with Azerbaijan. On the other hand, as is known, Russia has no borders with Armenia, so transportation of goods by air and then by an inconvenient Lachin corridor that has restricted access to Nagorno-Karabakh is time-consuming and causes great expenditures. But modern transport logistics infrastructure of Azerbaijan is far more favorable for realization of such operations, and the position is demonstrated by Russia in this issue should serve as an example to all international organizations willing to provide humanitarian aid to Nagorno-Karabakh.
First of all, roads will be cleared from mines and unexploded ordnance in the liberated territories. After the infrastructure has been established, everyone will be able to return to their homes. This was announced at the briefing by the National Agency for the Clearance of Mines. A special request was made to citizens not to visit these territories up to that time.
ANAMA Director Gazanfar Ahmedov said that those who want to go to their ancestral lands and visit their homeland are welcomed with understanding of the joy of the liberation of the lands from the occupation. However, given that these areas are contaminated with mines, unexploded ordnance, explosive devices and explosive remnants of war, citizens are asked not to enter these areas until they have the opportunity to travel safely and to refrain from visiting these areas. We would like to point out that there is a very high risk of exposure to mines and unexploded ordnance, including in these areas, by evading police posts and using intermediate roads. Chief of the operational headquarters of the ANAMA, Idris Ismailov, said operational search work was continuing in these territories for 10 days. In the next 3 days, these works will be fully completed and the restoration of the road will be transferred to the relevant organizations. The opening of another humanitarian corridor was the clearing of mines from the road connecting Agdam-Ayfatli with the center of Agdam region. As you know, a few days earlier, local and foreign journalists visited these territories, and today it is safe to move around. At the moment, in the vicinity of the highway, the necessary work is being carried out to build communication, electrical and other lines.
State Tourism Agency prepared a promotional video about the sites of liberated from occupation Shushan, such parts of Karabakh as the historical Shusha Fortress, the House of Poetess, talented artist and philanthropist, daughter of the Karabakh Khan Khurshud Banu Natavan, the Yuxarı Gövharağa Mosque built in the central square of Shusha, the Aşağı Gövharağa Mosque located 150 meters away from the center, Umbrella Waterfall in Dashaltı Valley, Isa Spring discovered by a farmer in the 18th century, the Jadir Plain where horse races and Novruz celebrations were held were presented in the video. Some time ago, the agency disseminated videos on sites of Gubadlı and Zengilan liberated from the occupation. In accordance with the decree of the head of state, reconstruction of the roads leading to the liberated villages of Sugovushan and Talish of the Tartar region is nearing completion. Roads with a total length of 28.5 kilometers are being restored in accordance to second technical category. The width of the asphalt concrete pavement of the road, consisting of 2 wide strips, will be 9 meters. The highways leading to the villages of Sugovushan and Talish of the Tartar region were under enemy occupation for a long time, completely out of order and destroyed. Currently, unsuitable soil is being dug along the road. Work is underway to backfill useful soil. The earthly expands and fits into the profile. The foundation of a new road is being laid. The work on the laying of the earthly and the construction of the road foundation is nearing completion on a 21-kilometer stretch from the city of Tartar to the village of Sugovushan. The specialist started the construction of a road with a length of 7.5 kilometers leading from Sugovushan to the Talish village. At the next stage, it's planned to build a road with the length of 8 kilometers from the village of Chayli to the village of Talish, as well as a road with a length of 22 kilometers leading from the village of Talish to the village of Kashaltı-Karakoyunlu, passing through the village of Tapkarakoyunlu. The connection of these highways will allow organizing communication not only with the city of Tartar, but it will also be possible to travel in this direction from the city of Naftalan. 2,981 infections with the novel coronavirus were registered in Azerbaijan. 1,226 people recovered after treatment and were released home. 31 people who earlier tested positive for COVID-19 died. The overall confirmed cases in Azerbaijan have reached 121,176 with 74,902 recoveries and 1,392 deaths. The number of active infections is 44,882. To detect infection cases, overall 1,728,577 tests have been conducted in Azerbaijan. The task force under the Cabinet of Ministers reported. That was all for today. Thank you for being with us. Goodbye.